All right, California Girls. One of the more humorous things I think about California Girls is that Brian didn't have any lyrics or even a subject matter for the tune. I think when he first recorded the track, or when he had the Wrecking Crew and Carl make the track for it, and he famously called it "I'm Grass and You're a Power Mower." Where that comes from, I have no idea. A country shuffle, mowing the lawn or something like that. But anyway, it's got the beautiful intro that Carl is playing his I believe his Rickenbacker 36012 directly into the board in the control room in the studio, and Jerry Cole is a famous session player who's also playing with him on those parts in the beginning. Then we've also got Carol Kay on the bass and Hal doing his stuff on the drums. But then the horn players, there's a trumpet player, I believe Roy Catan is how you pronounce his name, and then the sax players, Jay Migliori and Steve Douglas, and I'm not sure who else is on there, but the combination of those instruments and the chords that they play to shade this figure that Carl is playing on the front end is really the magic of the whole thing. And as we demo it out, I'm going to go ahead and play the line that Carl's playing, and possibly Jerry is doubling him on this. But the other instruments are making the chords behind what's going on. And what's going on is Carl is essentially playing the same figure, and the chords are changing around it. But I'm going to go ahead and just play the figure first. So we start the intro like this. Carl's got this little B shape down here. Just play the root note of it. Then lay that ring finger over, and creating a little suspension there, a little E chord. Back to this. Repeat it. Now, I've mentioned that Brian didn't have an idea for this tune, and this is a tune that Mike did not get credit for. As a matter of fact, it could be the impetus for the famous suit in the 90s, This and I Get Around Both. But Bruce, who this was the very first Beach Boys song he sang on. I don't think he was officially a member yet, or they hadn't decided, and he had been asked to come down and sing on California Girls, and there's two very distinct places that you can hear him on the chorus and the tag of the song. But he remembers Mike writing the lyrics to this, writing California Girls while they were recording the vocals, or maybe while they were doing the backing vocals. The track had already been made, whatever, but he remembers that about Mike writing the lyrics to this one. And Bruce also talks about the fact that Brian was never happy with the finished record. He felt like they rushed the singing in the chorus, and that doesn't mean they rushed it and did it poorly, but they did it too much on top of the beat. I wish they all could be. I think Brian wished that they would have laid back and sang that in the pocket a little bit more. So we had that beautiful intro. Now we go right into the verse, and this is where we get the first bite of the country shuffle that Brian says the tune is. That's how he envisions it. But the shuffle beat, kind of all of a sudden, Little Deuce Coupe and Help Me Rhonda at the same time, but then we've got this bass line in it, right? So that makes it a cowboy thing, right? But anyway, so we've got, well, these ghost girls are hip, really. And then we're going to go up here and get A chord. So this is, let's actually play that B up here. We can do now we're taking it down a whole step with the chord. So now that's going to be an A chord, but we're going to retain the B note. And that's the magic Beach Boy, one of the magic Brian Wilson Beach Boy things that type of a chord permeates their music and is a very special part of their sound, and that's why California Girls is such a special song, right? So we got, and then E, F sharp, back to B, A with the B in the bass, E, F sharp, now the very special chorus. When I was a kid, I tried to figure this out within the context of a key, and I remember when I was probably in high school at some point, a musician who was mentoring me. He said, they're just, because I was talking about the chords in the chorus of California Girls. I go, man, it's so strange, how, it doesn't make a lot of sense. And he goes, yeah, well, what he's doing is just going 1, 2 in B, and then modulating a whole step down to A, going 1, 2, then modulating a whole step down to G and going 1, 2, and that was a really enlightening moment for me in understanding Brian's music. So in the chorus, you've got B, C sharp minor 7, then we go a whole step back to A. Now A's the one. B minor 7. Now go a whole step back to G. Same thing. A minor 7, and then a whole step up to B in the shuffle again. So that chorus is that march feel, right? That would later show up in Good Vibrations and Smile stuff, but back and same thing. So here's the whole chorus again. So I wish they all could be California. So then you've got another whole verse and chorus, and at the end of the chorus they have a little break, and I think it's the organ and the guitar together where it's and then we're into the tag. So we've got B, and then just the 2. All those different vocal parts going over the top of it. That ending tag is just those 2 chords, but it's got so much going on vocally, and it's so much a Brian Wilson signature. He started developing these tags early, and the other guys carried them on further. But it's I use this reference a lot, but Brian's music makes me feel like this. I feel like I'm on the inside of a kaleidoscope. And as Al Jardine said recently, it probably is their signature tune.